Cloud, can you pop over to my YouTube channel and see if I'm streaming? Yeah. All right. Well, looks like we're live.
Wave.
Hmm?
Wave.
That's me. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Looks like we're live. So here we go. If you're tuning in, thanks for joining. I'm going to pick up where I left off last time. And if you join in the chat, then we can chat while we write. I can answer questions, whatever. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm at a point where I am 40 pages into a screenplay and I'm working with a co-writer, and I'm a little bit lost in the weeds, and I'm a little bit also lost because I mean we're writing the same film, but at the same time we're writing our own versions of that film and our own versions of scenes. So last time I actually printed out my script, cut it up scene by scene, and laid it out physically on a desk to refigure out the structure based on what the film is now. And now, actually, I'm going to go get those scenes and I will rebuild them. So let me start by sharing my Arc Studio Pro screen. And so, yeah, I would invite you, if you're watching, to you can write yourself, you can listen, but let me know how I can provide service to you. So right now you should be seeing my screen. Maybe I'll just change the layout a little bit. So my mug is there. I got my puzzle, so to speak, my script in puzzle form. Turns out, past Gavin is actually smarter than present Gavin gave him credit for, because it's actually right here. All right. So, trusty 30-minute hourglass. Let's do this. Coffee. I know you two, you guys love watching coffee getting poured for one reason or another, and I love drinking coffee. So this is mutually beneficial. All right. Coffee has been extracted. Clock is ticking. Let's get it. So I'm going to, can I insert a page break? So this is the first time that I'm doing this in Arc Studio Pro, to do this like rejigging process. So basically last time I cut out my scenes and reorganized them. And so, I mean, that's fine because this is still scene one. But what I want to do is basically at the title, that's the end of scene one. And what I want to do is add a page break. Can I add a page break? You know what? I'm going to share my screen a different way so you can see what I'm doing, because it's only sharing the program. Let me share my entire screen too. There we go. No, that should be better. So now you can see that I'm looking for page break. Doesn't seem like I can add a page break. So how could I do this? I could, should I do these, the outline? No, I think I'm just going to do this old school. Just add a page break. Because now I have the structure to the film. And so I don't think it's going to be valuable to write linearly anymore. And so I prefer to break the scenes by page and then move forward with writing the scenes. Okay, so anyway, now what I cut out. Oh, Claudia, how do I insert a page break? Place the cursor at the location in your script element. Select formatting. Drop down. This is so overly. Thank you, Claudia. Okay, sure. Let's learn
seems like
this.
you can just right click also.
It's basically, it seems like the program treats a page break like a element rather than how a word processor would treat it. So let's give it another try. So element, formatting. Is this where it is? Margins, alignment?
Yeah, it's supposed to be there. Like on the little video here.
Select formatting. Element icon. Use the drop-down menu to select.
What about if you go up top, like format, and then?
That's where I checked previously. Change element, alts, formatting. I think.
I don't have it.
I mean, sometimes they move or delete things. Okay, look, there's actually a little GIF. So one line, yeah. So it used to be here after spacing, and I think they took the feature out. So
okay, now we know.
Thank you. But yeah. Anyway, these are always like Sunny's place. Okay, so I accidentally added a location, a locator there. All right, so back to my objective, which is to kind of structure the script. Interior, my Bigo arena, get competition. So this changing room and the Gatka competition loses by 1 point. All right, so that's fine there. She leaves. Okay, scene 3 is her at her home office. Yeah, that's still the same. Interior, Sophia's home office day. Sophia takes a Zoom call. Yeah, that's scene 3. Scene 4. Okay, so now scene 4 is this bathroom vomiting scene. But this one, I moved, so I'm gonna cut this out of this. This out of here. And I'm gonna put this in the graveyard. Down at the bottom. This isn't ideal that I'm like kind of using the screenwriting software as if it was a word processing software, but what are you gonna do? I'm not, I mean, this is where I think the technical side of writing can it's so easy to get caught up on when you're trying to create flow and get in a flow state, and these little snags. So I try to, anytime I catch myself getting caught up on things like formatting, I try to move on as quickly as possible. Where's the coffee? All right. So now going back to new structure of the film. Scene 1, great. Scene 2, great. Scene 3, great. Scene 4, vomiting in the bathroom, morning sickness scene, great. And interior Simu's place, evening. This is still scene 5, great. All right. Now, where did it, because now I made a change. So, Sunny for permission proposes at Thanksgiving. Okay. So, this ultrasound clinic day, this I've moved, I believe. The sonographer clacking away because it felt like it was bogging down the first act. Sunny's house kitchen, so that's there. Interior cafe, that's still there. So it's just the ultrasound clinic that I moved to the second act also because I want to kill the ultrasound person. They're going to die gruesomely after Sophia learns that she can have an abortion. So that's going to go to the second act of the film. So does this now track with the pose changes? So out of here, interior, exterior. Okay. Come on. There's definitely a better way to do this, but I'm not going to worry about that. I think when I think about overthinking, mostly when I can catch myself, which I'm getting always better at, always bad at, is when I start getting into the technical stuff. So, I mean, this was the objective, was to start each page on the correct scene. So that I'm fine with getting finicky with, but then here, yeah, so there we go. All right. So now the ultrasound stuff is there. And scene 5 at Senior's place goes right into scene 6, interior cafe. Great. Jesus 30, not something to celebrate. Great. Now interior Sunny's house kitchen evening for the Thanksgiving 7 fishes scene, so to speak. This is great. Now this scene is way too long, too much happening, but that's fine. Where does it end? Sophia glares after her father, tucks the picture into her pocket. Okay. And then it goes through to started this thing. All right. That's great. And then interior car scene. Yeah, that's still needed so that we experience the fallout of the Thanksgiving scene. And then ancient 8 interior car scene. So this is a great example of like the writing process and how it can really sometimes be very simple and almost stupid. So this scene goes from the car scene to, where is it? I gotta find it. I actually bumped this up because there's interior exterior dream sequence. Ancient lore Falcon Blue Horse. Probably sounds pretty dumb right now, but essentially, I mean, you might have read Robert Rodriguez's Rebel Without a Crew, and he talks about, like, just add some dream sequences. When in doubt, add some dream sequences. People love dream sequences. They're interesting. They're weird. They very much represent a part of our consciousness we're always trying to understand cerebrally, but often can't make sense of. So that's what I've done here. Just gonna figure out. Okay, so car scene, and then now we have that dream sequence, ancient lore, falcon, blue horse, because these represent symbols in Sikhism. So that's why those are there. So now, car scene, dream sequence. In fact, there's probably an even easier way to do this by just moving the beats around in this program. Let's see if I can figure that out. Yeah, so it's great, all these untitled scenes. Okay, so now the dream sequence is there. So, boop, 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 boop. Let's get that on a new page. All right. Now, is this in order? Sunny's, right. So no, this Sunny's Place front yard. I think this went into the graveyard. Yeah, Sunny's Place backyard. That's in the graveyard now. So I'm gonna see if I can just move it bump, 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 down to the graveyard. Does that work? Yeah, exterior, Sunny's Place, backyard. Great. Now this is in the graveyard digitally. Physically, go here. Ultrasound graveyard as well. So Sunny's house, kitchen. So dream sequence. Interesting. So there's no, because it recognizes these as action, whereas these are, it says untitled scene too. Whatever. Moving on. Interior Sunny's house, kitchen day. Rebecca's son's playing with the fridge magnets. Great. So this scene goes on for a while until, when does this end? Until the shadow leaves. Maybe we see the shadow leaving the house. Okay. Maybe we see the shadow leaving the house. All right. Sunny comes clean. So that's gonna go over to the graveyard for now. Interior changing rooms. Haven't been sleeping well. Great. This is in the right place. Interior ultrasound clinic. Move this scene here to introduce the idea of abortion. We pan over from the ultrasound machine and follow the cord. Okay, so this is actually exterior. Oh, we pan over from the ultrasound machine. Great. So this scene is getting bumped up to after the changing rooms. Here. Deleted? Question mark. Great. Oh, wait, what's going on? Exits. Okay, something's wrong here. Because that's the end of that scene. So I didn't bring the whole thing over. More here. Pan over, so I gotta tough with the mouse. Okay, click and scroll at the same time. So now we pan over from the ultrasound machine as we follow the cord. That's great. Yada, yada, yada. Sophia swears exterior out. Perfect. That's in the right place now. All right. Interior, Sophia's placed later. She still hasn't told Simo about the pregnancy. Meanwhile, the doctor gets murdered gruesomely. Great. That's perfect. Scene 13. Now, hauntings continue. So that's going to go somewhere else because now essentially so that'll go to the graveyard. Interior, Sophia's, is that what is? Later, gruesome murder, great. But this interior, Sophia's apartment, this is going to the graveyard. For now. Oh, no, you don't want to go to the graveyard? Why not? The hauntings continue. You're gonna get it. I'm gonna. Okay. No? Huh. Interesting. Stubborn scene. Not gonna let this hold me up. Not gonna overthink it and figure out technical things. Interior Brampton Gatka Place. Sophia's having lunch. Rachel. So that's here. This I will bring up to here. Let's see if that works. Gruesome murder, and then Sophia's having lunch. Perfect. This is what the movie is really about. So you can see, like, it's very iterative, right? Like here, this isn't action, even though it's tagged as action format-wise. This is what this is a little more of like a beat context. Right. This continues to get bumped. Bumpings continue. Interior, Sunny's place, evening. Friend dies a gruesome death. Doors open on its own. Interior, Sunny's place, evening. Where are you? Interior, Sunny's place, evening. Interior, Sunny's place, evening. Friend dies a gruesome death, sure. And okay, it's fine. Interior, Sophia's office. Interior, Sophia's office. Where are you seen? Interior, Sophia's office. All right, let's search some dialogue. Are you high? There it is. See, this is now scene 16. Paul tells Sophia and she doesn't believe him. This is going up. So interior, Sunny place, evening. That's great. Now interior, Sophia's office. Are you high? Perfect. Are you high? What's next? Interior, Brampton, beautiful location. This, I'm just going to open Act 2. That should make things a little bit easier. Paul arrives with the tomb. The scene doesn't make sense here anymore, so you can see that I've already written that in. All right. And I wrote a new scene in that she needs to learn. I'm going to write that in quickly. Interior, Sophia. Sure. Place. Sophia learns OBGYN died. How does this affect her choices? Calls Simu. Maybe to tell him about pregnancy and wishes. Pregnancy/abortion. Pregnancy/abortion and wishes. She told him sooner. Goes to voicemail. And that's great because he's about to die brutally. So yeah, my act structure is like totally busted now, but that's fine. I'll deal with that later. The objective is rescaffolding. So exterior Brampton, beautiful location. Where is this scene? Okay, here it is. All right, so Sophia, one step closer, two steps back. This is what making life hard for your characters is all about. Okay, so she finally comes clean with her fiance, but he dies brutally. Okay, scene 19, Simu's hospital room night. Sophia arrives. This scene doesn't make sense here anymore. Simu proposes. She reveals she's pregnant. Yeah, none of this makes sense here anymore. Interior, exterior, Simu's hospital room. That's what needs to be here. So, Simu's hospital room, night. Sophia arrives to learn what happened, and maybe Nina's responsible for saving him. Yeah. It's funny. I called this in the beat sheet nightmare sequence. All right, so this gets bumped up. Okay, interior Simu hospital room. Perfect. Yeah. Horrific bike crash, and then he's in the hospital. Later. Okay. Nightmare. Sophia starts to believe John. Cool. Then up. Interior. So we need Sophia's office. She's going to cancel some patients. Where is this scene? Okay, so it's not so smart, but it can. All right, there we go. That's not the scene I'm looking for. This is the scene I'm looking for. Self-care. So this is currently in Act 3. It's not technically Act 2. It's after a nightmare sequence. I'm going to have to clean that up later. Where'd it go? Act 3. Okay. Bump this up. Come on. Work with me, Arc Studio Pro. Didn't do it. Why won't you be my friend? All right, let's try this again a different way. Here's the scene. We'll bring it up into the top of Act 2 instead. The bottom of Act 3. Let's see if that works. No, does it work? Also didn't work. Gonna have to get more creative. Okay, so now it has been 30 minutes. on a roll, so I'm going to keep working. Sophia's office. There it is. I'm going to cut this scene instead. Put it in here. I don't like that though. Now I've lost the beat. So I'm going to see if I can figure this out. Maybe if I use the beats. Let's show open beat in board. Let's see if I can move it this way. Here we go. Great. Script. There it is. All right, that worked. All right, so let's see. Sophia's office cancels patients. That's done. Cancels patients. Exterior graveyard, gloomy day. Go to, is this the open note? Or go to it in the script? Open note? It's in a note. Images, open comments. Oh, right, it's this open beat and script. Sophia goes to mom's grave and haunting happens. Yeah. I added the note, backyard versus graveyard. Make this a photo. Simple beat instead of scene. Oh no, an error occurred. Let's hope that doesn't lose me any work. Let's go back to graveyard scene. Make this a photo simple beat instead of a full scene. Yeah, so I didn't really lose anything. Backyard or basement versus graveyard. Is this after she notifies her clients? Yeah. Let's see where it is now. So is this all good? She starts to believe John. Yeah. And then that should be on the next page. Great. And then she cancels the patients. And then she talks to her mom from beyond the grave. We revise that to be a photo beat, so it's not a full scene. And then interior women's clinic closing time. I think this is in the wrong place. Well, trust it for now. Okay, Japanese horror. Oh, this is actually Hong Kong horror. I realized Hong Kong horror. And interior women's clinic. I'm gonna move this up to after the graveyard. There we go. Okay. Protesters. All right. So back at Sophia's condo, she does research on tunas, which is a term for kind of South Asian witch. So this is gonna get bumped up. So this is, as Morpheus would say, she's beginning to believe. All this research, interior hospital, the hauntings continue. Second kill doctor. It's after this for sure. There we go. Pop that baby in there. Hauntings continue. What's happening here? Sophia's research, basically a witch. All right, and then page break. There's a note here. Doesn't make sense here. Scene 24. At this point, enough weird-ish has had to have escalated that they don't know what to do. Interior, Sunny's house, living room. Graveyard continuous. That's probably going to go. Interior, Sunny's house, living room. Okay. This is going to get bumped up. Interior, Sunny's house, living room later at this point. Yeah, okay, that's great. So she can make her own choice. Interior, exterior, Paul's basement. figure out where that goes. Paul's basement. Let's go to Paul's basement. Paul's basement. Sonny and Paul both gaze at the computer screen. Okay. This is in the haunting and action sequence. Okay. Haunting and action. So we have basically a witch. Great. And Sunny's house should come first. Okay. So into your living room night later. And Paul's basement. Okay, so I think I have scenes within this scene that I need to get rid of. This is going to be a bit messy. This is what I want to get rid of. Can I do that? So now, Sunny's house living room to Sophia's apartment, but that's not where I want to go either. Let's move that. Sunny's house living room. Paul's basement. Now we're talking. Okay. Tricky. Paul, take it. You need it more than I do. This is supposed to kill the demon. He opens up the scrapbook. Okay. That's fine. He's attacked. Sunny is attacked. That's fine. That'll get left in. Interior. Okay, so now witch. We gotta go to the witch's house. I'm gonna trust that I must have been destructive last session for a reason. Okay. Exterior, which place? Which? WITCH. Which place? Exterior, which place night? Great. It's basically a hypnosis sequence. And so which place night later? And what is this? Interior, which place later? Which place later? Yeah, okay. So it's all part of the same sequence. So that whole hypnosis guru thing can bump up to after Paul's basement. Okay. Exterior, which place? This I'm just gonna put in the graveyard for now. Okay. Hypnosis guru. It's basement. It's fine. Which place? Night later. Scene 25. At this point, they probably unlock the demon. Okay, great. So this is a great example of a scene that is very much a placeholder. It's called interior, exterior, not sure. Because I know that something needs to be here, but I have no idea what yet. Interior, exterior, not sure. But she has to be sent on a mission to find the ceremonial Kirpan. That's, I know, and that she needs more missions and obstacles. Basement, so it's definitely after that. Where's the witch place? Where's the hypnosis guru sequence? That is where second kill doctor. So it's after this for sure. Haunting in action, hypnosis guru. Great. There we go. Should be there. Witch place, night later. And then that's fine. Then interior, not sure. And then mission to find the ceremonial Kirpan. Must be hidden somewhere that would make sense. And maybe Paul gets eaten by the backyard. As silly as that sounds, that is potentially one of the scenes I'm currently most proud of, where a guy gets eaten by the ground. Gets like sucked into the earth. It's going to be awful. We're going to hear his bones snap and crunch and things. So that'll be fun. Discovery at home. Maybe. This cow's not gone. Oh, locator. Maybe. Discovery at home. Maybe the magnets. Propose a choice. Okay, something happens, more haunting. Simu dies, maybe. Yeah, all right. Something happens. More haunting, maybe Simu dies. So, as silly and vague as this sounds, it's important because basically what I'm identifying is that I need to raise the stakes somehow. Maybe magnets propose the choice. Okay, so if that's the case, and here, okay, paste that in. And I'm going to turn this into a beat. And I'm going to call it stakes up. All right. Let's say Simu. Oh, can't read my handwriting here. Could that say stakes? Simu. Oh. All right. Where is this triage? Triage. Okay. Built to final showdown. This goes up, up, up to stakes up after the stakes are raised. There we go. Stakes are raised. Triage scene. Kurgan is both weapon and self-defense. And then exterior Sunny's house, backyard night. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. This is getting messy. All right, so stakes up. Triage. So it's after triage. So that's where, oh, nuts. Triage. After the triage. Okay. Okay. So we go from something happens, more haunting, to interior, exterior triage. And exterior, sunny, house, backyard night. That's great. Okay. Exterior need to. No, that's fine. 29A. Must use Gatka. Yeah. That needs to pay off. Interior Sunny's house night. That needs to go here. I gotta find that. Okay. That almost does. Sunny's house night. Night. There it is. Sophia wants the child now. Okay. This goes up to there we go. Sophia and Sunny face their demons. So here actually, interior Sunny's house. This is a continuous sequence of sorts. So they face their demons. Sophia must use Gatka learnings, weapon and self-defense, fight and communication, vulnerability, trust, profound sacrifice, does Sunny help her portion? Sophia wants to know, this is great. Okay. Cut to black. So now, interior Sunny workplace and mood argument. I put this here, but yeah, this, I understand. The idea is that the daughter and father have to have this argument around here. Maybe? I don't know anymore. I don't think it should be there, actually. I'm going to change my mind. This is interior. Hospital delivery room. So the final scene. Push. Push. Build the final showdown. Spaceman. Interior Sunny's house backyard. Huh. This goes there. Got me again, Arc Studio Pro. Oh, I guess I need. Let's see if that works. All right. Oh, that looks pretty good. Cut to black. Great. Heartbeat. Great. Interior delivery room. Final scene. Great. All right. And that's fine. That's the end. Now the graveyard. Okay. So this. Here. Call this graveyard. And where is this graveyard? It's like no act. Hey.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
The weather is so good.
I just thought,
All So I feel pretty good about this. I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.